When we were starting the M9 project, for us the main thing was really trying to understand the qualities of the site and how to work with them in a really positive way and how to bring them up into the project.
Mestre is what it is. It's not pretending to be something else, if you see what I mean. And it would be, whereas Venice is the extreme opposite. You know, Venice is like a theater set. It's like entirely made for tourism, entirely made as this kind of perceptual machine in a way. The museum is probably trying to bring some of that into Mestre as well.
The confrontation between the authenticity in Mestre and then the artificiality in Venice, it's a perfect pairing to expose those two themes, I think.
I was really taken by it because I really like these sort of situations which are contradictory, different times, different programs. And I think one has to be careful that you don't lose the kind of authenticity, the kind of reality that is on the site. That's probably the biggest challenge of the project. Well, what we were trying to do is to respect the site, the scale, even the materiality of what we found, and create something that would not just fit into it and seamlessly, but even improve upon it. I mean, make it work better.
After the site visit, we come back and we have photographs and we put them on the model as well. So the model does have a quality in the history and the time that's accreted on the site in a way. And then more and more we work inside the building, obviously, to create the entrance area and the auditorium and the bookshop and all the public spaces. So we end up literally making the space within the building and then checking how the building itself is fitting into the space of the city.
We're talking about museum of the 20th century, you know, and the 20th century, as far as urbanism is concerned, is obviously characterized by these huge disruptions, and I think Mestre is quite a good example of it. But at the same time, of course, it's a museum of this time. It's a piece of architecture at the beginning of the 21st century. And so the question is really how bring these two aspects together. It's really the question not just of continuity in terms of urban continuity, but also, I mean, long-term perspective and sustainability, I guess. Sustainability means really that you're trying to create a place which will be useful and will be appreciated for a long time. In other words, it should be working well, it should be energy efficient, it should somehow not block future possibilities within that urban context. But most of all, I think it has to be a place that's going to be delightful, where people want to go and people will want to use it for the next generations to come.
We interpreted the brief of M9 very much as something that would not only attract visitors to Mestre. I think more important than that is to give the inhabitants and citizens of Mestre something to be proud of their own city, to understand the history.
We were trying to achieve that through creating indoor and outdoor spaces which are quite well defined and in a way work as a kind of social place. What we're doing is we're just creating connections, pedestrian connection mostly, across the site and also across the convent, which in order to bring it into the flow of people.
In fact, in the end, we're creating a sort of what we call a little piazzetta behind the convent in front of the museum, and then that has a diagonal route to that part of the Via Brenta Vecchia.
All the kind of more public stuff is on the ground floor and it's immediately accessible from the streets, and you can see into it, you can access it straight away. And the actual exhibition levels are on the first, second and third floor. One of the kind of major devices, a very special staircase, which makes people curious and makes them want to explore this building as they go up and find different artifacts that will be on show.
A cultural institution such as a museum, such as M9, could act as and really should and must act as a catalyst. For that, one really needs to create a building that entices people in, that they want to not only have coffee in the neighbouring cafe, but actually also wander into the museum, wander into the bookshop, maybe go to a lecture, maybe walk up to the exhibition areas. Somehow it needs to be very inviting, nothing just for the specialists, but really to work on all levels of popular culture, I believe. This will happen with M9, whoever builds it. You know, we're all good architects, so I think whoever gets to build it, it'll be a great institution and really, really valuable for Mestre. Not just the beautiful buildings for cultural people, it's for everyone.